and commercial banks to launch a credit facility.
Matching words with action, federal government puts smiles on the faces of young entrepreneurs.
I hereby confer on you, graduating participants of National Defense College Course 26.
More strength for the nation's security agencies as Defense College graduates officers. And after being in comatose for more than 3 decades, Itakpe Warri Rail Line regains life. Hello and thanks for joining us live on NTA Network News. I'm Elizabeth Stober in Abuja. Elizabeth Omori joins me from Lagos. Agatha Egware Ojo is in Benin, and Asmau Habibu Shagari is in Sokoto. President Muhammadu Buhari is now in London on holiday. State House correspondent Adamu Sambo reports that during his 10 working days vacation, Vice President Yemi Osinbajo is to act as president. Already, a written communication to that effect has been forwarded to both the Senate President and the Speaker of the House of Representatives. This is in compliance with Section 145, subsection 1 of the 1999 Constitution as amended. The maiden edition of the National Micro, Small and Medium Enterprises Award ceremony has held with a promise by the federal government to continue its support for entrepreneurship and create an enabling environment for business to thrive in the country. Acting President Yemi Osinbajo describes MSMEs as the backbone of the nation's economy. State House correspondent Jide Onifade reports.
Again, I congratulate you all and assure you that the federal government will work with you and support you all the way, because the success of your businesses is the success of the Nigerian economy.
The Micro, Small and Medium Enterprise Clinic program was launched by the Vice President on the 24th of January 2017. He has so far visited 17 states. More than 300,000 MSMEs have participated in the program. Vice President Yemi Osinbajo acknowledges that there are millions of Nigerian entrepreneurs using their talents for the benefit of the country.
After day, you open your doors for business in the face of challenges, and you put in the hard work and dedication and innovation to serve your customers, to create jobs, and to make a positive difference in your communities. Today, we celebrate you all, and I want to thank you all very much for the very great hope that you give our nation and that you give us all.
A number of windows are said to be opened for MSMEs, including loans and services by government agencies that would assist and support MSMEs in the country.
We have also partnered with the CBN and commercial banks to launch a credit facility that will make available to MSMEs loans from 2 million naira to 10 million naira with a period of over 5 to 7 years and little or no collateral. The interest rates will be 5%.
When people are on their own, it's better like that. They're independent than relying on government always.
I mean, it has become fashionable for people to say what I'm putting on is made in Nigeria products.
The maiden edition of the National MSME Award ceremony is one that left all smiling at the end. From the banquet hall of the State House, Jide Onifade, NTA News.
In another development, Nigeria has launched its Climate Innovation Center, joining the likes of Haiti, South Africa, Ghana, and other developing countries that are tracking the challenges of climate change through locally crafted ideas that will be funded by the federal government. Acting President Yemi Osinbajo stated this in Lagos at the launch of a center in the areas of renewable energy, water and waste management, as well as agribusiness. Dotun Ogunyemi reports.
Young inventors like Derek Nwaso, young inventors like Derek and Egbe George are some of the reasons the Climate Innovation Center has birthed in Nigeria. Acting President Professor Yemi Osinbajo says the NCIC is a third innovation hub which the federal government is partnering with the private sector to ensure the creation of a conducive environment for climate-smart businesses to thrive. The center, which has as one of its focus off-grid solar sector development for electricity provision to Nigerians, 60% of who are not connected to the national grid, will also develop human capital.
Once young people know that there is an opportunity here to improve their skills, to hone their skills, and that there is an ecosystem here that they can benefit from, I'm sure that they will take advantage of it. There's so many young people doing incredible things. For many of them, what they really need is some information about what is going on and how to access what is going on. Once that is made clear to them, they will benefit from it.
Minister of Environment Malam Ibrahim Jubril and other stakeholders noted that other focus areas of the center, such as renewable energy, water waste management and agribusiness, will provide Nigeria an opportunity to tap into huge investment, deploying technologies, its applications and ecosystem services to position Nigeria as a leading solar off-grid market in Africa.
Those of us who are party to the contribution of emission must act decisively to address this issue and save the environment from extinction.
And what we're trying to do with the off-grid strategy is basically quickly increase access, not just for the typical rural unconnected customers, but also for SMEs.
Some entrepreneurs and inventors say they are poised to take advantage of the center for training and financial empowerment.
So what we did was to innovate a solution that can use hydrogen to provide electricity, and at the same time you can cook with it.
Started looking to partner with them and get mentors on how to go into the market and how to meet to get funds.
With a $6.4 trillion investment in world climate sector, the Nigeria Climate Invention Center commenced its operations with a climate launchpad, which was an avenue for young entrepreneurs to showcase their ideas, which will be used as tools to tackle the challenges of climate change. In Lagos, Dotun Ogunyemi, NTA News.
The federal government says it will continue to strengthen institutional and human capacities, increase environmental resilience, as well as improve future national outlook of the country. Secretary to the Government of the Federation, Boss Mustafa, stated this at the National Defense College Course 26 graduation ceremony in Abuja. Olajide Bello has details.
I hereby confer on you, graduating participants of National Defense College Course 26, one and all, the Fellowship of the National Defense College. Congratulations.
To further equip the participants with requisite skills to function optimally, the college's governing board approved the establishment of the Center for Strategic Research and Studies Work Plan 2018-2020 with a view to galvanize the institutional, human and material endowment for strategic military operations in line with international best practices.
I also salute the memory of fallen officers, men and women of the services and the security agencies in the defense of our nation. Nigerians are assured of government's total commitment to ensure sustainable peace and security in the nation.
And they are considered capable of holding higher responsibilities and also capable of contributing to security and defense policy making and implementation.
The 136 participants of the National Defense College Course 26 comprised 106 officers of the rank of colonel and equivalent officers in the Nigerian Navy and Air Force. Others are 4 commissioners of police, 10 civilians from ministries, departments and agencies, as well as 16 participants from allied countries spread across Africa, Europe and Asia. From the National Defense College in Abuja, Olajide Bello, NTA News.
Chief of Air Staff, Air Marshal Sadiq Abubakar has reaffirmed the commitment of the Nigerian Air Force to flush out bandits terrorizing villages and towns of Zamfara State in its recently launched Dirar Mikia operation. The Chief of Air Staff disclosed this when he inspected air assets and associated equipment deployed by the Nigerian Air Force at the Umar Musa Yar'Adua International Airport, Katsina. Bashir Bala reports.
Air Marshal Sadiq Baba Abubakar was at the Umar Musa Yar'Adua International Airport to assess the level of progress made so far by the Nigerian Air Force in its Dirar Mikia operation. He expressed satisfaction with the overall conduct of the operation and stressed that the Dirar Mikia operation would be sustained to put an end to the killings while protecting civilians in Zamfara State. Air Commando of the Nigerian Air Force, Ayola Jolasimi, revealed that the ground soldiers in Gusau, Zamfara State, serve as the backbone of the entire operation, while the Nigerian Air Force provides them with aerial support. The Dirar Mikia operation was launched by the Nigerian Air Force on Monday, following President Muhammadu Buhari's directive to deploy strong mixed force comprising the Army, Air Force, Police and the Civil Defense Corps to launch counter-attacks on armed bandits in Zamfara State. In Katsina, Bashir Bala, NTA News.
And the Presidential Amnesty Office and the United Nations Institute for Training and Research in Nigeria are planning to train Niger Deltans in different fields in order to create jobs and generate wealth for the region and the country at large. To this end, they have signed a memorandum of understanding in Abuja as part of the procedures leading to the success of the project, which is built to last for a 3-year period.
The partnership with UNITA will improve positive imagery, bring exposure to the region, since UNITA will expose its international network to place our delegates on international engagement platforms that will in turn effect less dependency on our national labor market.
What this collaboration is bringing is getting youth graduates in the Niger Delta, preparing them for employability, and of course taking them to the right sectors and so on.
Johnson reports that the Amnesty Office assured UNITA that trainees, cadets and students will be selected according to agreed criteria, best practices, and will provide funding for the program as well as focal persons as required. Wife of the President, Aisha Muhammadu Buhari, has joined her counterparts, the spouses of African heads of state and government, to a regional high-level seminar on cancer awareness and advocacy with the aim of reducing the burden in Africa. The seminar took place in Ouagadougou, Burkina Faso, hosted by the First Lady, Sika Kabore. State House correspondent Aliu Kabir reports.
Records by the World Health Organization, WHO, show that about 840,000 persons are being affected by cancer in Africa annually, and there is the fear that by 2030, the number could reach to 1.4 million, with Nigeria taking its portion. In an attempt to combating the scourge of cancer is what brought together this seminar, which provided an opportunity for the spouses of the African heads of state and government who were members of the Organization of Islamic Countries, IOC, and other critical stakeholders comprising the continental and other international non-governmental organizations such as Islamic Development Bank, IDB, International Atomic Energy Agency, AIEA, African Development Bank, IDB, WHO, and the United Nations Population Fund, UNFPA. Participants have identified factors responsible for the increase of the disease in Africa as lack of awareness of the dangers of the disease and the possible ways of managing it, as well as lack of access to healthcare facility, harmful traditional practices and poverty, among others. The wife of the President, Aisha Muhammadu Buhari, highlighted the commitment of the government towards addressing the challenge, especially the launching of National Cancer Control Plan, which is all and encompassing in guiding the implementation strategy for cancer control in the country.
We have conducted screening of cervical and breast cancer that has benefited thousands of women across the country. In some states of Nigeria, where we have the first ladies as medical doctors. Some are consultants, gynecologists, and pediatricians. We work with them hand in hand as a primary source of advocacy and campaign on cancer.
At the end of the seminar, the spouses of the African president, alongside other critical stakeholders, expressed optimism that the deliberations of the conference, if properly adopted, will go a long way in addressing the challenges of cancer within the continent of Africa. In Ouagadougou, Burkina Faso, Aliou Kabir, NTA News.
A bit on education now. Whenever a policy is formulated, what readily comes to mind is its successful implementation. However, implementation of policies has always been difficult in recent past. It is against this backdrop that the Minister of Education, Malam Ademu, told the National Council on Education to take whatever decision reached seriously and implement it for the benefit of all. He stated this at the opening of the 63rd National Council on Education in Abuja. Abdullahi Musa Suleja reports.
The National Council on Education is a body of heads of federal government parastatals under the Ministry of Education and a set of commissioners of education that harmonizes all educational policies in the country at the highest policy-making body in the sector. Malam Adamu highlighted issues such as reducing the out-of-school syndrome, expansion of access to all levels of education, security and safety of education institutions, restoring the quality of the Nigerian teacher, and interventions in the delivery of adult and non-formal education and funding education are some of the key factors that should be examined by the Council with a view to providing solutions.
If all we do is just talk and agree and then not implement, actually we are wasting our time by coming here. We don't have the power to force everyone because education is a responsibility of federal and state governments. But we should find a mechanism through which we can make whoever promises delivers.
Kano State Deputy Governor and State Commissioner for Education, Professor Hafiz Abubakar, commended the strides being recorded in the Nigerian education sector under the Buhari administration.
Because we have reached a point where we have almost lost hope that it is not possible for us to have a stable academic calendar in our tertiary education system.
The theme of the Council's meeting is funding education for the achievement of Education 2030 agenda. A communique is expected at the end of the meeting. Abdullahi Musa Suleja, NTA News.
You're watching NTA Network News. We now take a break to bring you some messages. We'll be back in just a moment. Stay with us.
A famous boxer once said, "The fight is won long before you step into the ring." It takes massive investment, dedication, never backing down. In 2005, Glow invested in the world's only privately owned undersea data cable, then connected this to its extensive fiber optic network throughout Nigeria, delivering flexible and affordable data and generous airtime bonuses for everyone. You see, it's not what you step into the ring with that makes you the master. It's everything you did to get you there. Glow Yakata. Get up to 6 gigabytes of data every month for 6 months and 2,200 Naira bonus for every 100 Naira recharge to call all networks where talkers and browsers live. The largest data network, Glow, Grandmasters of Data.
This is Lagos, the center of excellence, the state of aquatic splendor. The people of Lagos State and the Speaker of the most vibrant full House of Assembly, Right Honorable Mudashiru Ajayi Obasa, welcomes the Chairman of Conference of Speakers of House of Assemblies in Nigeria, Right Honorable Ismaila Kamba, and other Right Honorable Speakers to the Conference of Speakers of Nigeria Legislature, tagged Lagos 2018. This conference, holding in the economic hub of West Africa, will be one with a difference as all the speakers converge in Lagos. You will be treated to the best of Lagos hospitality. The conference holds between Friday 3rd of August and Sunday 5th of August. Venue is Radisson Blue Hotel, GRA Ikeja. Host Governor Mr. Akinwumi Ambode. Chief host is Right Honorable Mudashiru Ajayi Obasa. You're welcome to Lagos 2018.
The Standards Organization of Nigeria, SON, brings a new lease of life to Nigeria SMEs. SON has put a greater premium on developing standards to improve made in Nigeria products for export. We have developed more standards for products like sesame, cocoa, gari, and more, courtesy of our accredited state-of-the-art laboratories. In keeping with the federal government's ease of doing business, SON has simplified its processes and turned around time for SUNCAP, MANCAP, and other certification processes. SON has intensified market surveillance, raids, and seizures to reduce substandard products in circulation, and offenders shall be prosecuted. Join SON in ridding our nation of substandard products. If you see something, say something. Standards Organization of Nigeria, improving lives through standards.
The old one don't famuso as the new one land dig bam. Better bop inside every chop we get beside chef seasoning cube. 10 jara cubes dey inside the 100 cube packets and 5 jara cube inside the 50 cube packets. Go buy your own now before the jara then finish. Mr. Chef, the jollyment you not go forget.
The Honorable Minister of Women Affairs and Social Development, Senator Aisha Jummai Al-Hassan, heartily welcomes all delegates to the 18th Regular National Council on Women Affairs and Social Development with theme Peace, Security and Social Inclusion, key building blocks to achieving economic growth and sustainable development in Nigeria. Date 5th to 10th August 2018. Venue Academy Inn and Multipurpose Hall Limited, Plot 6, Agidingbi, Ikeja, Lagos. Time 9 a.m. daily. Participants are expected to arrive on Sunday, 5th August 2018. Registration for the meeting will start same day at the venue. Mrs. Ifoma N. Anabogu, Permanent Secretary, Announcer.
Do you know that the Nigerian police now operates in the best international practices of policing? Do you know that the Nigerian police has been restructured to be more accountable and responsive to all your security challenges? Now, what the police demand from you is your trust, your collaborative efforts by providing necessary information about criminals and their activities in your neighborhood. Be vigilant to achieve our creed as we promise. We shall police the country based on international core values of policing with integrity. We shall ensure that rule of law prevails in our actions and activities. We shall respect diversity, display courage, show compassion, and demonstrate professionalism. We shall operate within the principle of democratic policing. We shall shun corruption, and we shall make Nigeria safer and secured under the leadership of IGP Ibrahim Otum Idris.
Let the wind of change blowing across the country chase away crime for the benefit of our society. Yes, the Nigerian police says this change must come with peace and tranquility.
This message was brought to you by the Public Relations Department of the Nigerian Police Force.
Fake news which is shared for malicious purposes is a danger to our peace and security in Nigeria. Misinformation as fake news is a serious threat to our hard-earned democracy and promotes hatred and misunderstanding between our communities. We are all responsible for stopping the spread of fake news in its tracks. So, always check the source and credibility of any news item. Say no to fake news. This message is brought to you by the Federal Ministry of Information.
Thank you for staying with us. Minister of Water Resources Suleiman Adamu says the federal government will scale up dredging of some major rivers to aid all-year-round farming and ensure food security in the country. The minister said this when he visited the desilting and dredging project of Hadija Jamaare Komadugu Yobe Basin. Musbaud and Wahab reports.
This is a new site to this generation of dwellers of Wachakali and Nguru local government area of Yobe State. The older generation have been longing for restoration of this river that flows through Hadija, Yobe, and leading up to Lake Chad. The river is significant to people living on its bank for all year-round farming, grazing, and flood control. But compounded by typhographs, the flow was blocked for years. Senate leader Ahmed Lawal, who represents the district, says he had pressed for the dredging for years, but this wasn't achieved under previous administrations.
Our people, you can see, are all smiles. They have gone back to their farms, especially the irrigation, and they are also fishing. Today, we have a president who believes that we should be liberated from clutches of poverty. We should be self-reliant, wealth should be created, and we are experiencing that.
Water Resources Minister Suleiman Adamu says the federal government aims to sustain this effort to further support agriculture.
So far, more than 50 kilometers has been done, and it has transformed the lives of the people here. We'll be expanding it as a direct labor project, so that from one section to another they move, and over the years they can come back. If they need to do some maintenance here and there, they can do it. And Hadeja Jamari is also going to do the same. Having opened this river channel, it will now be possible for them to crop twice, but they are also looking at 3 times, because if the water flows all year round, they can crop actually 3 times.
It's going to be continuous. From where you saw from Wachakal, we are going to direct it into the lake chat in Damasak, Abadam.
Emir of Bade, Alhaji Abubakar Umar Suleiman, appreciated the Buhari government, which he says has restored their means of livelihood. From Wachakal, in the Guru local government area of Yobe State, Muslim and Wahab, NTANewsNow.
Imagine the joy of a mother seeing her 34-year-old son, who never took a step before, not just walking, but taking a sprint. This picture aptly describes the joy of Kogi and Delta State residents seeing a train conveying passengers from Itakpe to Warri for the first time following the completion of the rail project, which was abandoned for 34 years. Correspondent Oyinaya Kalu Oka captured the mood.
In the year 1984, the contract for the construction of the Itakpe-Ajaokuta-Warri rail line was awarded. 34 years later, it remained abandoned due to several factors. Day in, day out, the people of these areas imagined, dreamed, and prayed for a miracle to happen. With the coming of the present administration, their prayers were answered as the contract was re-awarded.
Before I was born, this project has been going on.
With most of the equipment either vandalized or stolen, the federal government spent about $200 million to upgrade the narrow gauge to a standard gauge rail line. With the laying of the 365 tracks completed, the first train movement conveying passengers from Itakpe, Kogi State to Adoge, Ajaokuta, Aganibode, Uromi, Agbo to Warri was like a dream to the locals.
Nigeria, we are going to laugh because this is a central for the north.
We are very happy because these projects are done. It is way of life, making the people community to be successfully.
The Minister of Transportation, Chibike Rotimi Amechi, while inspecting the construction of the 12 stations along the corridor, stated that commercial activities will commence by December 2018, disclosing that the rail line will be extended to Lokoja and Abuja.
Lokoja is just about 25 to 26 kilometers away from here, and we had agreed by the President's directive that we should not ignore any state capital. So if Lokoja is just here, why wait for Abuja to then connect Lokoja from Abaji?
Besides conveying passengers, the line will provide platform for freight of raw materials and steel products to and from Ajaokuta. Oyinaya Kalu Oka, NTA News.
And we have more on railway infrastructure with Elizabeth in Lagos. It's over to you, Elizabeth.
Hello, Elizabeth, and thanks for joining us in Lagos. Minister of Transportation Rotimi Amechi has assured residents that work on the Apapa corridor of the Lagos-Ibadan rail project will commence next week. The minister made this known during a courtesy visit to the governor of Lagos State, Akinwumi Ambode, at the State House, Ikeja. Nosao Sula reports.
Addressing State House correspondents after a strategic meeting with the governor and his team, the Minister of Transportation said that contractors would move to site to continue the Lagos-Ibadan rail project from Apapa as part of efforts to bring about permanent solution to the perennial gridlock in the axis.
The federal government awarded the contract of that Tinkan or Oshoki or Jota road. What I'm trying to do there is to get a good road to evacuate cargoes, but it will be faster with the rail. So while we are working hard to ensure that the rail is delivered by this year ending, the federal government has also awarded the contract to deal with the road from Apapa and Tinkan to enable us to evacuate cargoes freely. And that is an addition to the rail.
In his response, Governor Akinwumi Ambode commended the federal government for its efforts in finding lasting solutions to the Apapa crisis.
What you are going to see, you see additional construction works taking place in Lagos.
We are going to have almost about 10 overpasses that is going to go under construction, and you will see that a lot of construction work will start also from this Apapa axis and to some of our roads.
The federal government, at the end of the last Federal Executive Council meeting, had approved 72.9 billion naira for the reconstruction of the road from Apapa to the toll gates on Lagos-Ibadan Expressway. In Lagos, Nusa Osula, NTA News.
Racket Benkisa, makers of toilet cleaner Hapik, has refurbished public toilets at Ojota Motor Park in Lagos, an initiative the company says is part of the brand campaign to promote proper hygiene and end open defecation. Joyken Abakpoya was at the unveiling of the project in Lagos.
Statistics by the United Nations Children's Fund, UNICEF, reveals that more than 40 million Nigerians are involved in open defecation, which has been identified as a major cause of waterborne diseases. To discourage the unsanitary habit, Hapik, one of Rekit Benkisa's power brands, has consistently focused on the importance of access to clean toilets.
We have a partnership with Lagos State Government to make sure that we offer safe and clean toilets to the populations.
The refurbishment of blocks of toilets at Ojota Motor Park and other public places is Hapik's way of supporting government to make Nigeria open defecation free by 2025.
It's not only that here in Ojota we're actually commissioning on 4 sites and in total 25 units, which is part of a larger strategy to get into eventually every neighborhood to have a proper and clean toilet.
So we don't want to be an organization that's there for a commercial purpose. We want to actively partner with the government, the community, give back to the society that, the quality of life improves.
To have extended it to the public toilets is a reflection of the fact that they are proactive and they want to take hygiene to the next level.
Beneficiaries appreciated Rekit Benkisa for the initiative, which they say will enhance comfort at the motor park.
I'm happy that we did this product inside our park, Ojota New Garage.
It will encourage a lot of travelers to use the toilet because public are always very afraid of using public toilet.
Officials of Rekit Benkisa say Happy Public Toilet Refurbishment Project has been replicated at 4 major parks across Lagos. In Lagos, Joyken Abakpoya, NTA News.
And those are top stories from Lagos at this hour. Over now to Elizabeth in Abuja for more reports.
Thanks, Lizzie. Niger State Governor Abubakar Sani Bello says he has no plans to defect from the governing All Progressives Congress, APC. The governor made the clarification following the defection of some governors and members of the National Assembly to the opposition People's Democratic Party, PDP. In a statement by his chief press secretary, Jibrin Baba Ndache Domido said he is committed to the Buhari-led government and party ideals, emphasizing that the APC remains the only political party to rescue Nigeria from the many wrongs of past administrations. The statement also reveals that Governor Bello shares the president's vision for a new and better Nigeria, noting that there is no cause for apprehension as Niger State remains an APC state. Still on the political scene, Labour Party has applauded Nigeria's democracy, describing it as free and fair. The leadership of the party gave this indication at its National Executive Council meeting in Abuja. Ufan Shaji reports.
The National Executive Council resolved, among other issues, the party's determination to provide a level playing ground for all its members with political ambition to actualize their aspirations, saying the Labour Party is a party of integrity and a suitable platform on which to deliver good governance for the people. A frontline Labour leader, Isa Aremu, was introduced to the leadership of the party, during which he declared his aspiration to seek the party's ticket for governorship election in his state. As a Labour-oriented party member, Isa Aremu commended Nigeria's electoral process in its dynamic strive for good quality.
Nigeria has made a lot of progress democratically. I'm proud to be a Nigerian for the fact that in spite of military intervention, we've now had uninterrupted democratic process for almost 20 years now. So we're really a big democratic country, and I'm proud to be part of this process. You may not know this because if you're a Zimbabwean, you will know what it takes to have the right to choose your leaders.
The NEC meeting further enjoined Nigerians to always be abreast of the dynamics of politics in the country so as to be able to elect people with national interest at heart rather than those with ulterior motives and selfish interest. In Abuja, Ufan Shaji, NTA News.
Meanwhile, the 81st National Executive Council meeting of the People's Democratic Party, PDP, held in Abuja with some of the defectors to the party in attendance. Timothy Yusuf reports that the Senate President, Bukola Saraki, Sokoto State Governor Aminu Waziri Tambuwal, his Benue State counterpart, Samuel Otom, and the former governor of Kano State, Rabiu Musa Kwankwaso, were among the defectors at the NEC meeting. National chairman of the party, Uche Sekondo, says the NEC meeting was essentially to welcome them into the fold, stating that they would be accorded equal rights with older members. The Senate President, Bukola Saraki, and other speakers expressed their appreciation for the reception and pledged good followership to the party. President Muhammadu Buhari has charged the National Union of Road Transport Workers, NURTW, to avoid bickering and contribute their quota to national development. This was in his message to the celebration of the 40th anniversary of the union in Abuja. John Yaku has details.
Established in 1978, the National Union of Road Transport Workers has attained the membership of over 1 million across the country. In its 40 years of existence, the union has impacted on the nation's economy through transportation and social mobilization. While congratulating the union for the feat achieved so far, President Muhammadu Buhari, through the Minister of State for Labour, thanked the union for its support in its fight against corruption, insurgency and economic transformation.
The trade unions as partners in progress should, as a matter of necessity, support my government in this Herculean task of driving the process of instilling discipline, transparency, accountability, and patriotism among Nigerians.
The sustained fight by the President against insurgency in the Northeast and other security challenges facing the nation deserve our collective admiration.
On the current rehabilitation of federal roads across the country, some union members called for more efforts.
We appeal to them to put more effort, more essentially, Lokoja Bini Road.
It's yielding positive result, but it's not met the desired expectation.
There were goodwill messages from the governors, labor unions, and Federal Road Safety Corps.
It's my hope that every member of the union will continue to strive to make our roads safer.
The union has produced 13 presidents since its establishment 40 years ago. In Abuja, John Yaku, NTA News.
Meanwhile, the National Union of Road Transport Workers has been urged to continue to admonish their members to have Allah's consciousness while discharging their duties on the roads. Imam of the National Mosque, Sheikh Ahmed Onilewura, stated this at a prayer session to mark the 40th anniversary of the union. The prayer session, which held shortly after the 2 Rak'ah Jummah prayer, reminded members of the union on the burden of the lives they shoulder as they move people from one place to another. Sheikh Onilewura said life is sacred and every effort must be made by the drivers to safeguard it. He prayed for continued industrial harmony the union enjoyed over the years and also prayed Allah to bless the union. President of the union, Najim Usman Yassin, urged members to be law-abiding, especially behind the wheels. You're watching NTA Network News. We have more reports after this time out. Stay with us.
We have a challenge. My husband has a big interview, but his shirts aren't cleaning well.
Don't panic, Ngozi. Just use Good Mama. Good Mama's extra cleaning power removes all dirt, leaving a wonderful scent. Look, whites are white, colors are bright, and extra fresh.
Now in a 1 kg pack.
He got the job?
What do you think?
Obvious.
Good Mama knows best.
Madam. Brought us as usual.
As usual.
You have
no
for the three.
You are welcome, sir.
As usual, yeah? I was
You take that one. You take that one. You don't understand? We want Nigerian homegrown rice. Finish. You don't have? You don't have?
Join the rice revolution today.
No other rice that tastes like Nigerian rice. Are you sorry? That's the Nigerian rice we are talking about. Chocolate made in Nigerian rice. Healthy food. I'm going to bring Mrs. to come to chocolate rice of made in Nigeria here. And see how it are made.
Correct.
And how they are cook it.
Correct.
Homegrown rice are good for your health. It boosts our economy and give employment to our people.
This message is brought to you by the Federal Ministry of Information and Culture.
Thanks for staying with us. Talking business now, Central Bank of Nigeria revises bank clearing system rules just as federal government generates operating surplus. These and more with Amina Nujaim on Business News.
Welcome to Business News. I am Amina Nujaim. More than 1.4 trillion naira has accrued to federal government through the payment of operating surplus by ministries, departments and agencies since the enactment of the Fiscal Responsibility Act 2007. Mr. Victor Morocco said the operating surplus is made up of revenues accruing to government agencies above what they are approved to spend at the beginning of the budget year. He also pointed that 122 agencies that the federal government had listed as qualifying for the payment of operating surplus had started to avoid the payment by indulging in creative accounting. The Fiscal Responsibility Act 2007 requires listed agencies to pay 80% of their operating surplus into the Consolidated Revenue Fund while retaining 20%. Meanwhile, the Central Bank of Nigeria says it has revised the clearing system rules for deposit money banks. The Director of Banking and Payment System Department, CBN Dipo Fatokun, in a circular issued to banks, mobile money operators and payment service providers, said the revision of the Nigerian Bankers Clearing System rules was in furtherance to its mandate for the development of electronic payment system in the country. The revision, which is to take effect from September 1st, 2018, will ensure the presentation of electronic payment instruments to the clearing system in the next applicable session. And now the equities market closed the week ended Friday the 3rd of August 2018 on a negative note as the NSE OSHA index appreciated by 0.52% to close at 36,499.67 basis point. Its year-to-date currently stands at minus 4.56%. The stock market report wraps up Business News. Good evening.
Thanks, Amina. And Asmao in Sokoto brings us developments from that side.
Thank you, Elizabeth. Good afternoon, good evening, and welcome to Sokoto. Members of National Institute for Policy and Strategic Studies, Kuru Jos, have been called upon to contribute positively towards tackling the lingering security threats in the country. Sultan Muhammad Saad Abubakar made the call when he received executive members of the Alumni Association of the National Institute under the leadership of its new president, Khalil Bolaji. Sheikh Muhammad Dati completes the report.
Sultan Muhammad Saad said Nigeria as a nation has a problem of non-implementation of policies, acknowledge the activities of the alumni, and advise the elected ESCOs to always embrace dialogue on the issues bothering the association. Sultan Saad expressed hope that activities of the alumni will impact positively on the nation. While congratulating the ESCO, the Sultan pledged his support, urging them to work devoid of ethnicity and political affiliation. President of the association, Khalil Bolaji, informed the Sultan that they were at the palace to formally introduce themselves as new executives to run the affairs of the association. He commended the Sultan for his contributions to the smooth running of the alumni. The national president condoled with the Sultan over the loss of lives in the Tapani bandit attack and the Deputy Inspector General of Police, Hamza Ahmad Isa. The new Alumni Association executives were accompanied by the state chairman and former governor of Sokoto State, Malami Haya Abdul Karim. In Sokoto, Show Muhammad Detti, NTA News.
Efforts have been intensified to recover the remaining bodies of the 21 persons who perished in a canoe mishap in Gandhi district of Raba local government area of Sokoto State. Abdurrahman Usman Jibrila has the story.
The incident occurred around 9 o'clock Thursday morning. Over 40 persons were on board the canoe when it capsized. Among the victims are displaced persons from Girankari village going back to monitor their farms. 21 lives comprising 7 females and 4 males were lost, 10 were recovered, while the rest are being searched for. The funeral prayer was attended by a representative of the Sokoto State Governor, Secretary to the State Government, Professor Bashir Garba, and representative of Sultan of Sokoto, among others. Condoling the district head, families, and people of Gandhi district, the Secretary to the State Government, Professor Bashir Garba, described the incident as unfortunate and prayed for the repose of the soul of the deceased.
We are calling on all the people who are using canoe to not to overload the canoe and also to be very careful in using the locally made canoe.
The Director General, Sokoto Emergency Management Agency, Ibrahim Haluri Dingyadi, said Good Samaritans assisted in the rescue operation and many people were rescued. In Sokoto, Abraham Usman Jibrila, NTA News.
That's it from Sokoto. Is back to Elizabeth in Abuja for more on the news. Good evening.
Thank you, Asma. Also, on a sad note, a family of 8 lost their lives to carbon monoxide poisoning from a generating set in Calabar, Cross River State. Umar Basi Edit reports.
The recent crisis in southern Cameroon has continued to throw the citizens into untold hardship, with thousands taking refuge in some local government areas of Cross River State. Amongst them is a family of 8 who, due to the congestion in the refugees camp, decided to rent a 1-bedroom apartment outside the camp. Death, however, came knocking on their door, claiming the lives of both parents and their 6 children.
We want to go back home.
Confirming the tragic incident, the Director General of the Primary Health Care Development Agency, Dr. Betta Edu, dismissed speculations that the deceased died as a result of food poisoning.
The doctor, Dr. Obi, who saw the patients when they were, who saw the bodies when they were brought out, has made a working temporal diagnosis of deaths following carbon monoxide poisoning. However, the government is paying for autopsy to be done.
The compound where the tragic incident took place, however, looked deserted as neighbors had fled the area for fear of arrest. In Ikom local government area of Cross River State, Umar Basidate, NTA News.
And Agatha in Benin has more reports. Over to you, Agatha.
Thank you, Elizabeth. A warm welcome to Benin. The national chairman of the All Progressives Congress, Adam Soshamole, says Nigerians, especially politicians, must strive to depart from the old ways of engaging in negative moves that have brought the country to its present state. He was speaking at the Benin airport on his first visit home since he became the national chairman of the party. Ogochukuka Ona has the details.
The national chairman was received warmly by the People and Party faithful, who described him as a worthy son of Edo State. In their different forms, colors, and choice of words, they say every other engagement could stand still for his sake.
Deserve that such a triumphant welcome.
And not many politicians are very lucky to be accorded this kind of priestly and sacerdotal support.
Feeding questions from newsmen, the national chairman, who is the immediate past governor of the state, said he is very comfortable with the turn of events in the party, saying that his primary purpose for joining the process is to secure the future of the country from those he terms enemies of the nation.
They have no worry about why the people not getting good education, why the people not getting good health care. Every juice that they milk and suck, translate to poverty for the Nigerian people.
He told the youths that after the storm comes calm. Therefore, they should not lose faith in the government of the day.
Working together with President Buhari, that government will not focus on the welfare of the few and the welfare of the majority.
It is his maiden visit to the state after assuming the leadership of the governing All Progressives Congress on the 24th of June this year. In Benin, Ogochuka Ona, NTA News.
Away from politics, Edo citizens are applauding Governor Godwin Obaseki for reducing the cost of acquiring certificate of occupancy, CFO, from 300,000 to 50,000 naira. They say to turn around economic fortunes of the state for the better. Obeyo Toba Presai reports.
State governor's decision to reduce the fee of acquiring certificate of occupancy from 300,000 naira to 50,000 naira is part of the state government's policy to create an enabling environment for local and international investors.
Edo will be one of the foremost states in Nigeria where you can come in, buy land, within 30 days you have all the documents and the titles to that land.
Some Benin residents say it will not only attract investors, it will encourage individuals to acquire and develop their property, thereby solving the problem of housing.
Foreigners that are ready to come and invest, when they know it's easy to get these things done here, they will come here.
And that one will spark growth economically.
Now that it will be reduced, I'm sure people will be impressed.
Governor Obaseki had on Wednesday this week announced the 80% reduction. This was when the governor inspected the new office complex of the Edo Geographic Information Service. In Benin, Obehi Otoba Presai, NTA News.
That ends it from here. The network news continues in Abuja.
Thank you, Agatha. Let's now take another break. We'll be back in just a moment. Stay with us.
Old one don vamuso as the new one land dig bam. Better bop inside every chop we get Mr. Chef seasoning cube. 10 jara cubes dey inside the 100 cube packets and 5 jara cube inside the 50 cube packets. Go buy your own now before the jara then finish. Mr. Chef, the jolliment you not go forget.
Experience, they say, is the best teacher.
They hold us from the sea. Thank God that we came back home. They should not go there because it's not good. It's a very bad place. So they just may have us.
Even now, sir, if they are shooting the boat they are going to use to go Italy, may they stop it. Our country is good. Our country is a blessed country. Now I know our country is a blessed country. I know before I for not travel from Nigeria to Libya. I know how much I spent.
Let these personal experiences serve as a lesson to all who would repeat their mistakes. A word is enough for the wise.
This is a public service announcement brought to you by NTA.
Talking sports now, Team Nigeria eyes more medals at Asaba 2018 and Lucas Matisse Doredo retires from boxing. Kenaima Bodike brings us more on sports update.
2018 Commonwealth Games gold medalist Oluwatobiloba Amuson clinched Nigeria's first gold medal at the ongoing 21st African Senior Athletics Championships